Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're focusing on 30 specific English words.
That's right. They're from the Oxford 5000 list, Group 66. And they're really useful for boosting your vocabulary.
Our aim is to help you grasp these words so you can understand more complex stuff and, express yourself better.
Exactly. We'll give you the definition and then 4 clear examples for each one. We'll try to keep the pace good for intermediate learners.
Okay, let's jump in. First word. Vulnerability.
Ah, yes. Vulnerability. It's that quality of being easily hurt or attacked, physically or emotionally.
Right. Like children have a greater vulnerability to diseases. That's a common one.
Or showing emotion. He showed his vulnerability by admitting his fears.
You could also use it for structures. The old building's vulnerability to earthquakes is a concern.
Yeah, definitely. And just feelings. Feeling vulnerable after a breakup is normal.
Okay. And closely related is the adjective, vulnerable.
Right. Just means able to be easily hurt or attacked. So someone or something is vulnerable.
For example, older people are often more vulnerable to the flu.
Or think about objects. A small boat is vulnerable in rough seas.
And personal safety. She felt vulnerable when walking home alone at night.
And in tech, you hear it a lot. The website security system is vulnerable to hackers.
Okay, next up. Wander.
Wander. To walk or move around without a clear purpose or direction, just sort of drifting.
Like exploring. We wandered around the old city for hours just exploring.
Or your mind can do it too. His mind started to wander during the long meeting. Happens to us all, right?
Yeah. Another one. The lost dog was seen wandering near the park.
Or just enjoying nature. She likes to wander through the fields in the summer.
Next ward. Usually in a hospital context.
Exactly. A separate room or area in a hospital for certain patients.
Like, my grandmother is in the intensive care ward.
Or maybe the children's ward was decorated with colorful pictures.
You could also say, he was moved to a private ward after the surgery.
And rules apply. Visiting hours in the maternity ward are strictly regulated.
Okay, moving to warehouse.
A warehouse. It's just a large building for storing goods. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, like the furniture company has a large warehouse outside the city.
Or specific types. They store their products in a cold storage warehouse.
Sometimes old ones get repurposed. The old warehouse was converted into apartments.
Right, and functionally. We need to order more supplies from the warehouse.
Next, warfare.
Warfare. Basically, the activity fighting a war.
For example, modern warfare involves advanced technology.
And its impact. The long years of warfare had devastated the country.
Thinking about new types, cyber warfare is an increasing threat.
And historical context. They studied the history of trench warfare.
Let's look at warming.
Warming. An increase in temperature, often used in climate discussions.
Yes, like the big one. Scientists are concerned about global warming.
Or just a general trend. The warming trend continued throughout the month.
Can be pleasant, too. She enjoyed the warming rays of the sun.
And agricultural impact. The warming climate is affecting agricultural yields.
Okay, warrant. This is a legal term, usually.
Right. A legal document that gives authority for something, like an arrest or a search.
So, the police had a warrant to search the premises.
Or who issues it? The judge issued an arrest warrant.
And the need for it. You need a valid warrant to access these files.
Yeah, or obtaining one. They obtained a search warrant early this morning.
Next word, warrior.
Warrior. A fighter, especially one who is brave or experienced. Often historical.
Like in stories. The ancient stories tell of fierce warriors.
Or cultural context. He was a respected warrior in his tribe.
Skill involved. She trained hard to become a skilled warrior.
And representations. The statue depicted a powerful warrior.
Now weaken.
To weaken means to become less strong or to make something less strong.
Like health. The illness had weakened him considerably.
Or structures. The foundations of the building had begun to weaken.
Physical strength. Lack of exercise can weaken your muscles.
A natural phenomena. The storm began to weaken as it moved inland.
Okay, weave.
Weave. Usually means to interlace threads to make fabric, like on a loom.
Exactly. She learned how to weave on a traditional loom.
Animals do it too. The spider skillfully wove its web. That's a nice image.
It is. And describing products, the carpet was woven with intricate patterns.
And you can use it figuratively. Their stories were cleverly woven together.
Next, weed, the gardener's enemy.
Yeah. A wild plant growing where it's not wanted.
Like, I spent the morning pulling weeds in the garden.
Or dealing with them. The farmers sprayed chemicals to kill the weeds.
They can be persistent. These weeds are very difficult to get rid of.
Right. And careful removal. He carefully removed the weeds from around the flowers.
Okay. Weekly. Pretty simple.
Yeah, just happening once a week.
We have a weekly team meeting.
Or publications. The magazine's published weekly.
You can say, she goes swimming on a weekly basis.
Or services. The garbage is collected weekly.
Next word is weird.
Weird. Just means strange or unusual.
Like, that's a really weird coincidence.
Or experiences. He had a weird dream last night.
Describing situations. The weather has been really weird lately.
Or physical feelings. She felt a weird sensation in her leg.
Let's talk about welfare.
Welfare. This refers to the well-being, the health and happiness of someone or a group.
Often used for government responsibility, the government is concerned about the welfare of its citizens.
Or specific groups. Animal welfare being an important issue.
Organizations focus on it. They donated money to a children's welfare organization.
And personal priorities. Her main concern was her family's welfare.
Okay, now, well, not good, but the noun.
Right. The hole dug in the ground to get water. A water source.
Like, they dug a well to provide water for the village.
Describing the water. The water from the well was clean and fresh.
Sometimes they fall out of use. The old well in the garden is no longer used.
And quality control. They tested the water quality of the well.
Very close to welfare is well-being.
Yes, well-being. The state of being healthy and happy. More personal than welfare, maybe?
Like, exercise contributes to overall well-being.
You might notice changes. Her physical and mental well-being had improved.
Companies might focus on it. The company offers programs to support employee well-being.
And basic needs. Getting enough sleep is important for your well-being.
Okay, whatsoever. Used for emphasis.
Right. Used after a negative statement to really emphasize it. Like, at all.
For example, he had no doubt whatsoever.
Or lack of proof. There is no evidence whatsoever to support that claim.
Lack of assistance. She received no help whatsoever.
Or lack of interest. They showed no interest whatsoever in the project.
Next, wheat. A type of grain.
A very common grain used for food.
You might see fields of wheat stretched across the landscape.
And its main use. Bread is usually made from wheat flour.
Economics comes into it. The price of wheat has increased.
And farming. They harvested the wheat in early autumn.
Okay, whereby? This one sounds a bit formal.
It can, yeah. It basically means by which or through which. It introduces how something happens.
Like, they established a system whereby employees could voice their concerns.
Or setting something up. He created a situation whereby he became the leader.
Often in contracts. The contract includes a clause whereby the agreement can be terminated.
Or finding a method. She found a method whereby she could easily solve the problem.
Now, whilst. Another slightly formal one.
Yes, it's basically another word for while. More common in British English, perhaps, but understood everywhere.
Like, I enjoy listening to music whilst I work.
Or waiting. She waited patiently whilst he finished his phone call.
Comparing actions. He studied diligently whilst his friends went out.
Or setting a scene. The city slept whilst the rain fell softly.
Okay, whip.
A whip. It's that flexible tool, usually leather, used for striking.
Like with horses. The rider used a whip to urge the horse forward.
Can be used metaphorically for weather. The wind was so strong it felt like a whiff against my face.
The sound it makes. He cracked the whip loudly.
And figuratively for management. The manager had to crack the whip to get the project finished on time. To make people work harder.
Right. Next, whoever.
Whoever. Simply means anyone who, or the person who.
Like an open invitation. Whoever wants to come is welcome.
Or finding someone responsible. Whoever broke the window should confess.
Asking for help. You can ask whoever's on duty.
Or lost and found. Whoever finds this wallet, please return it to the owner.
Okay, wholly. W-H-O-L-Y.
Wholly means entirely, completely, 100%.
So you could say, I'm wholly in agreement with you.
Or about funding. The project was wholly funded by private donations.
Describing a state. She was wholly unprepared for the exam.
Or being focused. He was wholly absorbed in his work.
Next, widen.
Widen. To make something wider or to become wider itself.
Like construction. They decided to widen the road.
Or a reaction. His eyes began to widen in surprise.
Describing a path. The path gradually began to widen.
And figuratively, understanding, the discussion helped to widen our understanding of the issue.
Good one. Now, widespread.
Widespread means found or distributed over a large area or among many people. Common.
Like concern. There is widespread concern about the new policy?
Or negative impact. The disease causing widespread panic.
Positive spread, too. The internet has made information widespread.
And support. There was widespread support for the proposal.
Okay, widow.
A widow. That's a woman whose husband has died and who hasn't remarried.
Simple statement. She became a widow last year.
Social context. The widow received condolences from her neighbor.
Inheritance. He left his estate to his widow.
And support systems. The support group provides assistance to widows.
Next to last. Width.
Width. The measurement of something from one side to the other.
Like furniture. The table has a width of 1 meter.
Things can vary. The river varies in width.
Giving instructions. Measure the width of the doorway.
Or describing a space. The room had a considerable width.
All right, last one. Willingness.
Willingness. It's the state of being ready or prepared to do something. Being open to it.
Like being helpful. Her willingness to help was greatly appreciated.
In negotiations, they showed a willingness to compromise.
As a positive trait, his willingness to learn made him a valuable employee.
And in the workplace, there is a general willingness among the staff to work overtime.
Oops, I skipped one. Wipe. Let's do wipe quickly.
Right. Wipe. To clean or dry something by rubbing it with a cloth or your hand.
Simple cleaning. She wiped the table clean.
Or yourself. He wiped the sweat from his forehead.
Instructions at the door. Please wipe your feet before coming inside.
And figuratively, like erasing. The heavy rain seemed to wipe out all traces of the dust.
Okay, now we've covered all 30.
We have. So that was our deep dive into this group of words from the Oxford 5000. We really hope it helps clarify their meanings and uses for you.
Definitely. Feel free to come back to this, listen again if you need a refresher, and, try to think, how can you start using these words?
Exactly. Even just noticing them when you read or listen is a great first step. Then maybe try one in conversation or writing.
Because building that vocabulary, it really does empower you. You can understand more, connect more with the world around you.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.